Let's return to This Week in America. Here's your host, Rick Bratton.
Welcome back, everybody, coast to coast and beyond. This Week in America. Thank you for joining us on the program. Author Sung-hee Kwon is a divorce lawyer with 35 years of legal experience. Why scientifically analyzing the phenomenon of couples combining opposite personalities, even though personality differences are the biggest reason for divorce, she came to evolutionary biology and discovered the greatest long-cherished pursuit of biology, the sexual reproduction mechanism, and the new theory of evolution. She then wrote her findings in her first book that we'll talk about on today's program, nicknamed as Lamarck's Daughter, self-proclaimed Jesus lawyer sent by John's Gospel 14 through 16. She claims to have been called to consummate Western civilization by integrating religion and science. She's living in Seoul, South Korea. Her latest evolutionary biology book, Can Macron Offer Biden the Restoration of Women's Abortion Rights? And author Sung-hee Kwon joins us via Skype from South Korea. Sung-hee, welcome to the program. Nice to have you with us.
Okay, thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here from Korea.
It's an honor to have you here on the program from South Korea to talk about this book that is receiving much international acclaim. Can Macron Offer Biden Restoration of Women's Abortion Rights? The author, Sung-hee Kwon, our guest on the program. You've talked about Jesus has already returned to Earth, to the world. Talk about that. When and how has Jesus returned?
Actually, this year, the Netflix, there's a documentary, The Story of Moses. And, firstly, I want to explain about me briefly more. So I asserted I am the prophet or the messenger of God. When I was a freshman, I met the resurrected Jesus in front of me, and he said, the truth will set you free. And then 40 years later, he said that, I was sent by him, Jesus, and sometimes Yahweh. And this is the third year. Jesus served for 3 years, and with the 3 years, he completed his work, right? So he said, through me, he will come back. He will do that. He will accomplish his promise to be back. And so that's why I'm here. And Jesus said, he should. He said, I should write a letter to the President Macron, and the title is, finally I'm back, my friend Macron. Why he said this Macron president is his friend? Jesus said, he has never seen a person who loves the truth as much as he does. And Old Testament, Yahweh God said Abraham as his friend. So this Jesus said Macron president is his friend. And he said so, and I completed the letter June 18th, and I sent them to the friends, Elysee Palace, where President Macron lives.
Yes.
And Jesus also said I should put the letter in USA Today ad. So I put the letter on USA Today LA region edition July 26th, and USA Today New York edition August 2nd. And, the title is, finally I'm back, right? So Jesus just did not send the letter. He himself also came back. He said to me that he came back with two other gods together, Dionysus God and Horus God. And when I sent the letter to France, he was also went to France first. And he said, this year, Paris Olympic was there, right?
Yes.
So the opening ceremony, he was there with Dionysus and the Horus god. And especially the Dionysus god, was there performing with other, some drinking people. And he enjoyed that with Horus god. And he said, before he died, he had a Last Supper with his disciples. So he said, after I came back in the new kingdom, and there I drink the wine again, I will not drink, he said. So he said at the Paris Olympic, and he enjoyed the wine, with his friend, Horus and Dionysus, and he really enjoyed, and it was a very good welcoming party, and he enjoyed that. And this is kind of very weird, I know, but I'm very sure, I heard the Jesus voice for 43 years, and this letter is not that short. It's a bit kind of long. It's like 10 pages. And I want, the people get the letter, from, I think, get from President Macron and from USA Today, or, my book publishing company, EC Publishing LLC, and some, maybe from me, maybe from Rick, you too. Yeah. If people,
yes, we will have. Yes, we will have that available,
Yeah.
And that's important. That as was mentioned, the letter is in the book. Can Macron offer Biden the restoration of women's abortion rights? It's a fascinating letter. So much information there, and a copy available in the book at USA Today. The editions that were mentioned. Our guest on the program is Sung-hee Kwon. Now, if you're looking for the book is listed with their family name first, Kwon, Kwon, and then Sung-hee, Sung-Hee. The book is available wherever books are sold, published by ecpublishingllc.com. All of this information on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Sung-hee, you said there are 3 miracles that Jesus gave regarding his return. Briefly, what are those?
Yeah. Okay. So, the USA Today New York edition was this year, August 2nd. And Jesus said, after he enjoyed the Paris Olympic opening party, and then he went to America, LA and New York and other areas. And at the latest, August 2nd, he successfully came back. That's what he said to me. And then 3 miracles. Okay, so there are so many signs or miracles, Jesus told through the 4 Gospels, and also his apostle John, the Revelation, and and I start with these 3 miracles. Nowhere was written. Okay, so the first thing is in year 2017, May 17th. 2021, May 17th, Darwin Arch collapsed in, Ecuador, Galapagos Island. Okay, there was while I was studying Darwinism is right or Lamarckism is right, Okay, so I was trying to why people opposite attract, why.
Yes.
And I studied to write the human brain evolution. And that human brain and evolution, made me reach the Darwinism. Okay, that's evolutionary theory. So I don't know why. First, as soon as I saw the Darwinism, I was so sure this is totally wrong. So, and I studied very hard, almost for 3 years, I did not go out. I really read hard the evolutionary books almost 400 books very carefully, and I found, Darwinism is right. Even though until now nobody know what I found it. But anyway, I was very sure I found it. Darwinism is wrong. Lamarckism is right. So that year 2021, May 12th, I wrote on my Facebook, okay, I will crush this Darwin into stone dust, okay? And exactly 5 days later, I did not know there's a Darwin Arch thing was, in Galapagos. So I saw, 5 days later, I saw the newspaper, Darwin Arch collapsed in front of tourists. Yeah, that's the first miracle. At that time, just I was coincidence, very weird, but I did not know exactly. But only this year, Jesus clearly said this was the first miracle, okay? The second miracle is, okay, I told you, Jesus told me to write a letter to President Macron, right? So I completed it June 18th, and immediately I sent it right June 20th, right? So exactly 2 days later, the very powerful sword is Durandal sword. It's like in English, it's very similar to Excalibur, and the sword was in the Rocamadour steppe for 1,300 years was there, and that June 22nd this year, all of a sudden, that sword is gone. Until now, nobody knows where the sword is gone. Okay, you search newspaper and you find the news about this. And a few days later, Jesus told me the sword will not come back. Okay, so Jesus said this is the second miracle. And the third miracle, this year, August 2nd, Ohio, Canton, Jesus' mother Mary statue is there. So some people saw Jesus' mother's Mary's eyes blink or closed. So okay, that was August 2nd is the very date Jesus told me the letter should be USA Today, New York
yes.
edition. That's also August 2nd, the same date. I felt why Jesus' mother Mary closed her eyes she was very relieved. She realized that her son successfully came back and he fulfilled his promise 2,000 years ago. That's the three miracles. And through also, when you read the Revelation shows, the apocalypse things, right? So there, the Lamb broke the sixth seal, the final judgment of God started. And there, the sky will be black clothes. Black will be black like a black cloth, and the moon will be red like blood, and the sky will be rolled like a scroll, and the stars fell from the sky, and locusts whose wings noise will be like chariots into the world scene. So this year, April 8th, there is a total eclipse. And just yesterday, October 2nd, there's also another eclipse. We could see river fire, okay?
Yes.
And those are the sky black and moon red. And, okay, this year also, the solar storm, because of the solar storm, all over the whole earth, there's a many auroras was there. It's like, we see the aurora sky like rolled up like a scroll,
Yes.
And then, many stars and meteors and comets, especially this year, many comets, especially yesterday, a comet A3 was there. 80,000 years, we could see that again, the scientists say. And you see, 1,000 trillion cicadas was this year in America after 221 years later, okay? So those are periodical scattered. Periodical locusts, also called as a locust. So Jesus said, all these are the revelation apocalypse era. And Jesus also, one promise also left. It is, Jesus said, anybody who is victorious and stand to the last, and we will receive, the morning star. It is the new star. Okay, this year, the scientists said every 80 years, this new star explodes, and that is, TCLB, okay, Corona Borealis. So nowadays, every scientist, look up the sky every day when the explosions. Actually, they predicted early this year, August or September, but until now, it did not show. So I want, people, the whole people, my word now is very strange. I understand. But if they believe what I say and the whole world know Jesus successfully came back this year and everybody know that, and as a celebrating, Jesus promised he will give this new star explosion, okay? And then the four gospel also said, Jesus said, when he comes back, the end time starts with birth pain. And also Jesus said how dreadful it will be pregnant women and nursing mothers. And also, you remember, okay, Jesus was climbing the mountain to the Golgotha to be crucified, and he said, the weeping Jerusalem woman, okay, women, stop crying for me, cry for yourself. Someday, the barren woman and the woman breast never nursed will be very blessed. Someday will come. So I thought, I read those things. Okay, American women, they all of a sudden their abortion rights is gone, right? So I thought, okay, this is the end time from the four gospels, and Jesus what said. And normally, okay, so God is, the existence or the presence, helping people, especially free people from the slavery, like Moses did. Moses saved the Israelites from the Egypt, right?
Yes.
So why Jesus came is, like the weak. I mean, the women and the LGBTQ people, frankly, they are weak nowadays. They are not like, normal people, okay? Especially Christian people, they persecute. So I'm very sure Jesus came to save this women, abortion, and feminism, and these LGBTQ people. And then also, Jesus said he came back with Dionysus and Horus God together. And Jesus, another biggest present is religious pluralism or polytheism, These are, okay, this earth is very big, where when they live and they own special, religion or God. It's also, it's like a kind of scientific adaptation. That is the result of, that's why, a bit different, but still, we see those are the truths. And one last thing, okay, so Jesus said he will be back like a time of Noah, okay? So nowadays, just because of the climate change, especially this year, the whole world, what happened, that, right?
Oh, yes.
So actually, we can see the flood is near, like Noah times. But people are, wicked. They do worse. They persecute, neighbors. Jesus said, even love your enemies. People cannot. They don't love neighbors, So, and also, Jesus came back as a scientific truth. So that means if we rely on the new truths, the scientists, whatever scientists say about the climate change, climate crisis, and when we act on the whatever they say, then I'm very sure we could save this earth. God promised after the Noah flood judgment. He said, when you see the rainbow in the clouds, there will be no more flood, right? So now Jesus why came back means, if we, even though it's a bit late, but if from now on, if we very carefully prepare for climate crisis,
Yes.
we can save our,
There is so much that you've said there, and boy, the time is going by so quickly. The book is Can Macron Offer Biden the Restoration of Women's Abortion Rights by Sung-hee Kwon. The book is in the name, her family name first, Kwon, Kwon, Sung-hee, and I'll link on our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Time for a couple of more questions. I want to talk about this science and religion. For a long time, they were fighting each other. What's going on there, and what is your role in this of science and religion together?
Yeah, everybody know, science and religion does not get along well, right?
Yes.
So both of them assert they are dealing with truth. So I think, if there's a real truth, and I don't think, they can fight. So maybe one party from the two party or both of them are somewhere not truthful enough. That's why they are fighting, I think. So, and then also I told, this Lamarckism thing or the Darwinism thing, it's like scientists say it's paradigm, but its paradigm is like how can I say, it's like a language system. For example, if I don't, if I can't speak English, I cannot talk with, English people, English speaking people, right? So if, this religion, their own religious paradigm, and this scientists, their own Lamarckism paradigm, they cannot talk each other. But because of this Darwinism, this Darwinism say God and religion are not truth and not science anymore, right? So, but I said, Darwinism wrong is and the Lamarckism right. Based on the Lamarckism, God and religion and abortion and religious pluralism all became truth. And Darwinism, cannot explain why homosexual or why transgenders are there. But this Lamarckism can explain all of those things. So that is my role, to give a new paradigm, kind of new language system give. And religion and science can be compatible very peacefully together. That's my role.
And you do that so well. Yeah. You make that explanation, you make that connection, and you are able to back it up. You've had some legendary discussions with Professor Richard Dawkins about the existence of God, and you go remarkable detail, and it's something that we all should look up and understand and follow. This book is Can Macron Offer Biden the Restoration of Women's Abortion Rights by Sung-hee Kwon. I want to finish with this here. You talk about abortion is a scientific phenomenon. Talk about that, if you will. Explain.
Yeah, okay, so there are, many lives on Earth, right? So if I split, I can split, three realms. Okay, firstly, bacteria, prokaryote, and the second is eukaryotic single cell organisms, and that is like so amoeba or seaplate thing, and then like a plant and animal is multicellular organisms. Okay, so. And all these, live pre-survival, post-reproduction. For example, bacteria, they don't have food or nutrition. They cannot survive. They cannot reproduce. And this, okay, I told you, the pre-survival, post-reproduction, right?
Yes.
So any, for example, any plant or animal cannot survive, then even they cannot survive. How can they reproduce, So, for example, seahorse, the male pregnant. And, for example, then the female pregnant and lay together, then they cannot survive, both of them. I mean, the male, female seahorse cannot. So, and then, for example, multicellular organisms, grows first. And then, for example, so girl, the menstruation starts after, 13, 14 years later, right? So that's, to protect their survival. And then the menopause also, two old women get pregnant, she cannot survive. Okay, like that way. So an animal cannot survive, then automatically, miscarriage. There's many, for example, African seals, that year they don't have enough food. All the seals together miscarriage. The fetuses are floating all over the sea. And then the array, it's kind of fish, and she is stressed. Immediately, she just throw away the fetuses, So that means, that's very, the survival itself is very important. They should survive first, and then later, maybe next year, the environment is good, then reproduce again. The same principle works also for women, So then, people are just not survive means, just life that we live socially, right? So if we socially, women are socially endangered, they get abortion,
Yes.
So that is the science. So that's why abortion is very scientific phenomena, very typical phenomena based on the Lamarckian paradigm,
We are just have time to scratch the surface. There is so much here. And if you look for Sung-hee's website or a book, the book is Can Macron Offer Biden the Restoration of Women's Abortion Rights? The book is available internationally. Of course, you'll find it at Amazon, the usual places. Published by ecpublishingllc.com, and I thank them for arranging our conversation today. In the book, it includes a scientific findings report, the letter that we talked about in the beginning that was sent to President Macron. The author is Sung-hee Kwon. Now, you'll find that the family name first, Kwon, Kwon, Sung, Sung, -he, Hee. That will get you to the book. You'll be able to order it, find information there. Google and find it, information on the author as well. For 35 years, an attorney, a divorce lawyer, coming to us from South Korea today. Sung-lee, it's been a pleasure having you on the program. So much more to talk about. Hopefully we can continue this conversation. Very enlightening, and we encourage people to pick up a copy of your book. And I know it's early morning for you as we're talking. Thank you so much for being with us on the program and sharing all this very vital information. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
It has been our pleasure. Sung-hee Kwon. The book is Can Macron Offer Biden the Restoration of Women's Abortion Rights? The book available wherever books are sold. And you'll get a direct link onto the Amazon page with the book by going to our website, thisweekinamerica.us. We thank you for listening, and there's more coming up on today's This Week in America right after these messages.
This Week in America is online. You can visit our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Scott Pinkerton, associate producer of This Week in America. Jay Anderson, segment producer. Ben Watson, webmaster. Otto Bechet, director of engineering and TV production. This Week in America produced and is a trademark of Blue Funk Broadcasting, LLC. For information on all of our guests and to listen to this week's show, our website again at thisweekinamerica.us. And I'm Sean Bratton, executive producer of This Week in America.